Yeah, I
So that's
found that to be extremely helpful, Allison. The way that you put that report together, and thank you for the background, because and I've known this because you and I have talked many times, but every time we talk, I get just a little bit more light shining in that helps me to kind of get some more context. And you said something earlier that I think is really important, and a couple of things. One, people are not as self-aware as they think they are. And I see that. I'm running an EQ survey right now. It's an ongoing EQ survey. It's a very simple 6 question survey. And when I ask people the area they feel they're strongest in, the vast majority of people say self-awareness, which I'm sure they think they are until they understand what self-awareness is. The second thing that you said that really struck me was this, and I'm not sure the right terminology to use, but the scar tissue, it's this change weariness that comes over people, whether it's built up scar tissue or just too much change all at once or in a short period of time. And as you were talking about that, it really spoke to me about the first thing we need to help people do is hold up a mirror through this assessment that they can look in this mirror and say, oh, this is where I am right now. And you know what? I'm I'm not really change embracing right now. I'm kind of like I'm done with change for a while.
yeah.
And I don't know about you. I'll share something with you that I'm seeing in the assessment that you've created, and then I'm interested in your insights. Prior to COVID, what I saw, the average, if you can call it an average score on change readiness, was somewhere in the functional area, kind of the middle of the range. But post COVID, I saw that drop down at least one category, if not two, consistently, where it just from the assessments that I was getting from the people I'm working with, and I'm talking about, hundreds of people over a couple of 3 years, I'm seeing that change readiness score significantly lower. Are you seeing the same things? What insights are you getting out of the assessment at this point?
Yeah, I would agree.
Mm,
Absolutely agree with you, which correlates with if we look at, we know that the 6 Seconds organization run global state of the heart reports. And if we think the impact of COVID, sadly, emotional intelligence declined and seems to be continuing to decline, particularly in some of the skill sets like empathy, which are needed now more than ever. But the one emotional intelligence skill that seems to have grown through COVID is consequential thinking. So, some of us, we
interesting.
couldn't plan a
Right.
wedding, we couldn't go and visit our family, or, we had to have plans A, B, C, and D because who knows which one we could actually, get to do. And so our brain literally started to wire for this kind of thinking pattern of consequences and if then and then that and what if that. And so if we become
Mm,
very, I believe anyway, very skilled in or we have a higher level of consequential thinking, our appetite for risk is likely to diminish.
right.
And, with change readiness, as our change readiness grows, so should our level of comfort with risk, with uncertainty, with emotional exposure. And Steve, I mean, I look at the world as it is now, and I'm sure you do too. And I see what our leaders grapple with daily and how difficult it's almost becoming for them to develop strategic plans. How can we think 5 years out? Gosh, let's just plan 6 months if we're lucky.
Right.
It it's as change readiness is declining at the very time we need it to grow. That's where the gap lies, and that's why the work we do is so vitally important, because if we can support leaders to raise their self-awareness, to reframe their thinking around change, and actually develop the emotional intelligence skills that are going to be needed for the kinds of conversations they're going to have to be having on a daily basis. You know, that is the way through this.